A girl named Hanlu dreams of becoming a fighter pilot. She believes there was a fierce battle in 1999 when Earth fought against an alien invasion. Hanlu and her sister both took part in that war, but her sister was captured by the aliens while trying to protect her. After the war, everyone on Earth lost their memories. Thanks to a storybook and a Red Lotus Squadron badge left behind by her sister, Hanlu becomes convinced that the 1999 battle was real. She even transfers from a top school to, 8 high school. Just because it has a telescope that can observe the sky. Hanlu believes her parents had their memories erased too, so they think her sister, Han Yu, died from an illness. But Hanlu refuses to accept that. She is determined to rescue her sister, no matter what. On New Year's Eve, a boy named Qian Yu set his sights on a pair of basketball gloves at a ring toss booth. He threw dozens of rings but kept hitting everything except the prize. Holding his last ring, he was determined to win no matter what. Just as he was about to throw, someone from behind pushed him, and the ring accidentally landed on Hanlu's head. When Qian Yu came over to ask for his ring back, he accidentally pulled off Hanlu's beanie. Trying to fix his mistake, he reached out to put it back on her, but Hanlu twisted his arm, making him wince in pain. She then turned toward the gloves and asked for one of his rings. Both of them threw at the same time, and by coincidence, both hit the target. When the shop owner handed the prize to Hanlu, Qian Yu protested, claiming he hit it first. Seeing she wouldn't give in, he offered to buy the gloves from her. Then he noticed the owner putting up another pair of gloves and urged Hanlu to throw again. As expected, every ring she tossed hit perfectly. As fireworks lit up the sky, Qian Yu's eyes stayed fixed on Hanlu. The booth owner, realizing he was losing money, sent his men to block Qian Yu's way. He claimed Qian Yu hadn't paid for his last ring and demanded the prize back. If Qian Yu really wanted the gloves, he'd have to pay 300 yuan for them. Hanlu didn't want to get involved, but the thugs wouldn't let her leave. Unexpectedly, with just 2 swift moves, she knocked down the 2 men standing in front of her. When the owner pulled out a weapon, Qian Yu quickly grabbed her hand and ran. After escaping, Hanlu coldly pulled her hand away and warned him not to cross the line with her again. It turns out Qian Yu had once promised to keep a pair of basketball gloves for his sister, but only 1 glove remained. Excited to finally complete the set, he told his sister he would return a full pair, only to realize both gloves were for the same hand. Meanwhile, Hanlu's 2 gloves also turned out to be for the same hand. She looked at the Red Lotus Squadron badge and recalled her sister's words that their youth squad must protect the world. A new semester began, and Hanlu's class was moving their belongings to a new classroom. A cheerful girl named Yishan brought small New Year gifts for everyone. When Yishan handed Hanlu a special present, a classmate warned her not to hang around someone so cold, but Yishan didn't care. She still chose to follow Hanlu everywhere. Meanwhile, Shi teamed up with Qi Dong to get revenge on their boss. He even set a trap, but just like every other day, the plan failed before it began. They comforted each other, saying youth was never meant to be perfect. Since the 10th graders had to share the same building with the 11th grade, Hanlu's class often ran into upperclassmen. One day, a boy named Yu stepped forward to politely ask the seniors to make way for them. But Liu Yang, an arrogant senior, shoved him so hard he almost fell. Hanlu calmly walked up and said just 2 words, "Move aside." The group of senior boys surrounded her, telling her not to act so cocky. Without hesitation, Hanlu threw a piece of chalk, shattering the glass window as a warning. Then, with another piece of chalk in hand, she slowly walked through the crowd, clearing a path. Later, their homeroom teacher, Mr. Feng, heard about the incident but didn't scold them. He understood that studying in the same building as the seniors could be stressful for the younger students. Instead, he praised Hanlu for standing her ground and offered to pay for the broken window himself. During the break, Qian Yu took his friends to eat noodles at their usual spot. Suddenly, the night market owner showed up. He had heard that Qian Yu was the leader of Force 8 high school. Not wanting to involve girls in a fight, Qian Yu told his friend Qian to leave first. Understanding his signal, she hurried back to school to call for backup. Meanwhile, Hanlu overheard that some thugs were bullying students and went to check if it was the same stall owner from before. Facing 3 gangsters, Qian Yu told his friends to stay calm and wait for Qian. Sure enough, she didn't let him down. She came back with dozens of students. A boy named Chen Xian immediately stepped forward to lecture the thugs. Qian Yu then asked the owner if he still had another pair of gloves. The man remembered that Qian Yu and Hanlu had already taken the last pair. From a distance, Hanlu spotted the same owner and chased after him. He underestimated her, thinking she was alone, but Hanlu twisted his arm and punched him in the face. The owner admitted that he had only bought a batch of old stock and didn't know where the gloves originally came from. Hanlu realized her only option was to meet Qian Yu to retrieve the other glove. But just as Qian Yu reached the school gate, gate, the homeroom teacher stopped him. The teacher said the night market owner had accused students from high school of beating him until his face was swollen. Qian Yu denied it, claiming the scratches on his face were from climbing over the school wall. As punishment, the homeroom teacher ordered every student involved to write a self-reflection report and clean the rooftop for a week. Qian Yu couldn't stop wondering who had actually hit the night market owner. Meanwhile, the class president, Xiaomiao, told everyone that Hanlu had gotten into a fight with Qian Yu's followers. When Xiaomiao accused her of being selfish, Hanlu calmly said she would handle her own problems. On the basketball court, Lu Yang asked Qian Yu to help him deal with the arrogant girl from class 10 who had stood up to him. At that same time, on the rooftop, Hanlu decided to apply for the astronomy club. Coincidentally, Qian Yu's group came up there to clean. Yishan quickly warned Hanlu that Lu Yang's boss, Qian Yu, was planning to take revenge on her. Just then, Qian Yu's marble rolled to Hanlu's feet. When she heard his name, she didn't even look. She immediately flipped him to the ground. Realizing who the other was, both demanded the missing glove at once. Embarrassed in front of his friends, Qian Yu tried to throw Hanlu off balance, but no matter how hard he pushed, she didn't budge an inch. Qian, speaking for her boss, politely asked Hanlu to give back the glove, but Hanlu didn't want money. She wanted to trade gloves with Qian Yu instead. He agreed, on one condition: she must never set foot on his rooftop again. Confident and unbothered, Hanlu told him they'd exchange the gloves there tomorrow. Qian Yu fumed but didn't dare chase after her. After a long day at school, Hanlu returned home only to find no proper dinner waiting. Her father was buried in work and her mother was glued to the phone. By 9 p.m., they were still eating instant noodles, too busy with their own lives to notice their daughter at all. Hanlu went to the riverside to talk to her sister. She said she still felt alone in this world and hoped her sister would show up on her upcoming birthday. Eventually, the two gloves returned to their rightful owners. Qian Yu made Hanlu apologize for throwing him down and warned her never to step on the rooftop again. But Hanlu believed she had done nothing wrong. She loved the view from up there, so she set up a net across the rooftop, marking her boundary with Qian Yu. No matter how hard he tried to fight back, she easily countered every move. Though Qian Yu was known for being a dependable friend and respected by everyone, he couldn't stand Hanlu's stubbornness. He wanted to call Lu Yan to help come up with a plan against her, but Lu Yan was too busy writing a love letter to Hanlu. Angry, Qian Yu stormed off to confront Lu Yang. Qian tried to stop him and revealed that it was actually Hanlu who had beaten up the night market owner. Chen grew nervous, realizing their group might be up against someone truly skilled, while Lu Yan became even more intrigued by Hanlu. Qian Yu declared that anyone who backed down was a coward and challenged Hanlu to a fair fight. That night during self-study, Lu Yan turned off the classroom lights so Qian Yu could drop a fake skull outside Hanlu's window. Hearing the girls scream, they thought their prank had worked until Hanlu calmly tore the skull right off the window. The next day, Qian Yu still refused to give up. He secretly stuck a balloon to Hanlu's back, but she noticed it and removed it before sitting down. In the next round, Qian spotted Hanlu in the restroom and signaled her team to tape the door shut from the outside. But even that trick didn't fool Hanlu's sharp instincts. First, Qian Yu waited until the 10th graders went to gym class. He secretly placed a phone under Hanlu's desk, a risky plan that soon backfired. During the next lesson, the phone started ringing loudly from inside Hanlu's desk. Qian Yu was thrilled to hear she got scolded for half the class. But later, Hanlu called the number still saved in the phone and immediately realized Qian Yu was behind it. Determined to get revenge, she decided to strike back. Her first move was to stick a balloon on Qian Yu's seat. When he sat down and popped it, he had to change his pants. Then she put on a skull mask, taped the restroom door, turned off the lights inside, and threw the fake skull onto Qian Yu's head. Panicking, he bolted for the door only to run straight into the tape. His friends, terrified of ripping off their boss's eyelashes, had no choice but to tear the tape off carefully and carry it away with them. Yu realized that Hanlu had offended the senior of grade 11. He asked Qian to speak on his friend's behalf. Noticing that she often ate cookies, he baked some himself and gave them to her. Qian agreed to help, but she believed fools like Qian Yu stood no chance against Hanlu. Yu then mentioned that the grade 11 students often dumped trash in front of their classroom and even forced his class to clean the entire floor. Qian clarified that all those acts were done by Lu Yan, not Qian Yu. She explained that although Qian Yu looked arrogant, he wasn't the type to bully others. As soon as the school bell rang, the grade 11 students rushed into the restroom in chaos. Lu Yang claimed that Yu had brought cookies as an apology from Hanlu, but it seemed he had laced them with a laxative. Qian Yu scolded his two friends for eating food from their rival. Then, in a fit of anger, he stormed into class 10 and snatched Hanlu's school uniform. After that, he asked Lu Yang to make an announcement over the school broadcast. Yu confronts Yishan, asking why he brought expired cookies to class 11. Yishan assumes Yu made so many to help Hanlu make amends. Back in class, Hanlu realizes her uniform jacket is missing. At that moment, Lu Yang announces over the school's loudspeaker that Hanlu is the mastermind behind the mass food poisoning incident. Her uniform is hung up high for everyone to see. Hanlu runs to the back of the school to find Qian Yu. He admits he hung the jacket to warn her not to bully his friend, but he didn't expect her to risk her safety by climbing a tall tree to retrieve it. Meanwhile, Qian feels that Qian Yu has gone too far. She recalls eating Yu's cookies herself and not getting sick. Eventually, Hanlu manages to get her jacket back. Qian Yu climbs a ladder, offering to help her down. Hanlu refuses and jumps to the ground on her own. Lu Yang sneers that if his big brother won't avenge him, then fate itself will punish Hanlu. Seeing that she has twisted her ankle, Qian Yu carries her to the infirmary. Hanlu protests, asking him to put her down, but he insists she stay still on his back. Eventually, she jumps down and places her foot on his shoulder instead. Hanlu then asks why he didn't take Lu Yang's side. Qian Yu explains that Lu Yang did ask him to take revenge, but he never bullies classmates. Hanlu clarifies that she never tampered with the cookies and promises to uncover the truth. Qian Yu notices the teacher approaching and quickly tells Hanlu to pretend she's injured. The teacher orders Qian Yu to escort Hanlu home safely and asks both of them to submit a self-reflection report the next day. On the way back, Hanlu realizes Qian Yu isn't as bad as she thought. She recalls Yu mentioning that Lu Yang was actually the one causing trouble for her class. Moreover, when Qian Yu stood up for class 10A6 during the food poisoning incident, he looked firm and dependable. Hanlu apologizes for knocking him down earlier and offers to give him half of the rooftop space back. She remembers he once said she had to complete 3 tasks to repay her debt, but Qian Yu no longer wants to hold it against her. When Hanlu calls out Yu, he stops in surprise. That one word, she hopes, can clear all debts between them. Later, Qian Yu returns to school and confronts Lu Yang, asking if he has been bullying class 10A6. He reminds him that he never bullies others and warns that if Lu Yang keeps threatening younger students, he'll have to step in. Outwardly, Lu Yang agrees to obey his leader, but behind his back, he secretly tears up Hanlu's astronomy club application form. Hanlu listens to her parents arguing outside and feels an even stronger longing for her sister to come home. She reopens the pager her sister left behind, only to find it broken. Taking it to a repair shop, the owner advises her to sell it while pagers are still being produced. But Hanlu refuses. It's her only way to stay connected with her sister. She fears that the communication service might soon shut down, and she'll no longer receive her sister's yearly birthday messages. Hanlu remembers being teased as a child for never having her parents pick her up. She used to spend time reading books about outer space, and only her sister would stand by her and offer encouragement. Deep down, Hanlu still believes her sister will never break her promise. During the Monday flag-raising ceremony, the homeroom teacher calls 2 students to read their self-reflection reports. Hanlu admits she's never written one before, while Qian Yu, on the other hand, seems to have plenty of experience. As he listens to Hanlu read, he realizes her words sound exactly like what's written in his own report. When it's Qian Yu's turn, he walks slowly toward the microphone, each step cautious and deliberate. Stammering a little, he wishes everyone wealth and success in achieving their dreams. In the end, he takes full responsibility for what happened. On the rooftop, Lu Yang wonders why Qian Yu hasn't taken revenge on Hanlu for stealing his self-reflection report. He worries that his leader might be competing with him over a girl, though he still believes he has the upper hand in both looks and personality. At the school's club recruitment fair, Yu is mesmerized by an upperclassman confidently showing off her dance moves. Bathed in the morning sunlight, she shines brightly, warming his innocent heart. Meanwhile, Hanlu excitedly signs up for the astronomy club. With only 4 members, they can hardly believe a new student is actually joining. The club leader, Jin Hui, assumes Hanlu entered the wrong room since he never received her application form. When Hanlu insists she's sure about joining the astronomy club, Jin Hui tells her to wait while he checks with the homeroom teacher. A while later, Jin Hui returns and says he couldn't find Hanlu's application form. She plans to go back and fill out a new one, but he tells her the club isn't accepting any more members. Just then, Yishan bursts through the door, introducing Hanlu as the top top student in her class. She explains that Hanlu transferred from a prestigious school just to use the telescope in their observatory. Unbeknownst to them, Qian Yu is eavesdropping outside. When Hanlu notices that he and Yixian know each other, she rushes out to catch up with him, asking for his help in joining the astronomy club. Qian Yu excuses himself, saying he has to pick up Yuan and leaves. On her 17th birthday, Hanlu happily wears the shoes her sister left behind. As it turns out, when she was little, she submitted an article to an astronomy magazine and used the payment to buy these shoes for her sister. Hanyu had planned to buy her a matching pair but couldn't find her size. She promised to take good care of them and give them back to Hanlu when she turned 17. Mr. Bai waits for his daughter to come out and tells Hanlu to eat a bowl of longevity noodles. He suggests inviting some of her friends over that evening to celebrate her birthday. He admits that when she was little, he was so busy that he often forgot her birthdays. Hanlu says she doesn't remember much from childhood and that she doesn't like troublesome celebrations anyway. Because of the noodles, Hanlu ends up being late for school for the first time. Taking a shortcut behind the building, she spots Qian Yu climbing over the wall. When he learns she's late too, he reaches out a hand to help her up. Hanlu carefully removes her shoes before jumping over. Just then, the security guard passes by. Hanlu pulls Qian Yu into a corner to hide, then tells him to wait while she bravely steps out to distract the guard. But Qian Yu can't just leave her there. He rushes out, grabs her hand, and together they run into an empty classroom to hide. Qian Yu asks why Hanlu went out of her way to help him. She replies that it's her first time breaking the rules, so even if she gets caught, the punishment shouldn't be too serious. Qian Yu guesses that she's trying to move him emotionally, so he'll help her join the astronomy club. Suddenly, Hanlu jumps down and awkwardly pleads with him in a half-playful tone. When Qian Yu says her effort isn't enough, she grabs his hand tighter, nearly twisting it. Startled, he quickly agrees to help her. Later, Jinhui reminds Qian Yu about the sports jacket he promised to give him. Without hiding it from the new member, Jinhui frankly tells Hanlu that the astronomy club is on the verge of disbanding. The 3 members who attended yesterday's meeting have just quit because of their busy senior year. According to school rules, any club with fewer than 10 members must be dissolved. On top of that, no one wants to join an astronomy club that can't even access the observatory. Jinhui admits he doesn't know why the observatory has never once been opened. Still, he hopes Hanlu will one day set foot inside it. We're all here because we look to the stars, he says. Later, Hanlu goes out to thank Qian Yu for helping her join the club, saying she owes him a favor and will definitely repay it. That night, she still hasn't received any signal from her sister when Yixian calls, asking her to come to the rooftop. It turns out they've planned a surprise birthday celebration for her, but unexpectedly, they run into Qian Yu's group, who are already playing chess there. Yixian bravely steps forward and asks to borrow half of the rooftop. Seeing Qian Yu nod in approval, she and Yu quickly set up a small party. Qian Yu waits for Hanlu to arrive on the rooftop, while Yixian lights fireworks to celebrate her best friend's birthday. When Qian Yu hears that Hanlu is busy, he tells her to at least eat a piece of cake before leaving. He knows she can be proud and distant, but she shouldn't treat her friends that way. They're trembling in the cold, yet still doing their best to throw her a party, and she doesn't even spare them a glance. Hanlu thinks none of this concerns Qian Yu, and besides, she doesn't need friends. When she notices her pager finally picking up a signal, she sits down to wait for a message. She apologizes to her friends for speaking harshly earlier, explaining that she was just anxious. Yixian doesn't care about what others think. To her, Hanlu is still her best friend, but Hanlu insists that her friends don't need to stay by her side. She doesn't understand their conversations and isn't interested in what they like. Yixian then asks softly, "Do you know why we've always stayed with you?" Because she says we grew up together. Before she passed away, Hanyu had asked everyone to spend more time with Hanlu. Yixian asks if Hanlu still remembers their spring outing back in elementary school, when the teacher made the class line up and hold hands. Because Yixian's palms were sweaty, no one wanted to hold hers. Just as she was feeling lonely at the end of the line, Hanlu quietly walked over and held her hand for the entire day without letting go. From that moment, Yixian decided that Hanlu would be her one and only best friend for life. Wearing her rainbow hat, Hanlu celebrates her birthday with her 2 closest friends. Yu apologizes for not having enough ingredients to bake a cake, so he had to buy one instead. Hanlu realizes it's the same kind of old-fashioned cake she once shared with her sister. For the first time, the 2 of them heard Hanlu express her emotions. They were instantly moved and could not hold back their tears. It felt as if a barrier had been lifted, and they happily celebrated Hanlu's 17th birthday. Yixian accidentally smeared cake on Qian Yu's hat. She immediately froze and hid behind her best friend. Hanlu offered a flower to Qian Yu, hoping he would smear cake on her in return. But unexpectedly, Qian Yu smeared it on Lu Yan's face instead, and then on Chen Xiang's. In the end, the birthday party welcomed 4 new friends. Even though only a small piece of cake remained, they lit the candles and sang the birthday song together. Hanlu's wish, the same one she had made at age 7, was to see her older sister again. Unexpectedly, when she looked up, she saw a streak of green in the sky. At the same moment, her phone buzzed with a message wishing her a joyful new year of life. The message told Hanlu that if she missed her sister, she should look up at the starry sky. One day, they would meet again at the edge of the universe. Hanlu gazed at the sky. She shouted loudly, declaring that the youth must protect the world. Qian Yu ran over and decided to give Hanlu half of the rooftop. This meant she had to take responsibility for cleaning her half. Suddenly, she saw a streak of green falling toward Dingshan and tried to go check it out. At that moment, the homeroom teacher arrived, catching the students skipping self-study and leading them back to the staff office. The teacher asked what they had been doing on the rooftop. Everyone blamed the strange object in the sky. Only Hanlu told the truth. She explained that Yi Xian and Yu had organized a birthday for her, while the 4 others were playing chess on the rooftop. When Qian Yu heard the teacher mention calling the parents, he volunteered to write a 3,000-character self-criticism. Despite this, the teacher still called the parents. She also assigned the students to write self-criticisms at school the next day. Only Yu was left quietly alone because his mother was the homeroom teacher. On the way home, Hanlu scolded her father for not nagging or scolding her like other parents would. Meanwhile, Qian Yu's father scolded him not to get into trouble all the time. When Qian Yu entered the house, he saw his grandfather still waiting in the living room. Hanlu opened a storybook and immediately remembered the streak of green in the sky. It looked very much like an unidentified flying object. She decided that if it was truly related to her sister, she would find it. The next morning, Hanlu's father had the morning off and wanted to take her to school. He told her to call him after finishing her self-criticism, but she never went to school. Across the street, Qian Yu scolded Hanlu for betraying her friends and causing the whole group to write self-criticisms over the weekend. He saw Yu walking in the opposite direction and curiously followed him. Qian Yu then spotted Hanlu getting on the bus to Dingshan. He and the others blocked the front of the bus. The driver scolded them for not getting on and pretending to be cool for show. Yishan asked the seniors why they were chasing them instead of writing self-criticisms. Qian Yu remembered how someone had denied seeing the UFO the night before, yet now they were making the effort to search for it. Halfway along the road, the driver told everyone to get off and walk because the bus suddenly broke down. Qian Yu, anxious about Hanlu, decided to take the bus across the street for her. Luckily, they ran into 2 reporters who happened to be filming at Dingshan. Lu Yan eagerly mentioned they were searching for a UFO, which immediately excited the reporters about their story. Upon arriving at Dingshan, the group planned to buy lunch at a homestay, but the owner said it was closed. Yu decided they could cook with just a few ingredients. Yishan noticed a keychain hanging from Qian's bag, featuring her favorite music group. She invited her senior to chat, and Qian, happy to interact with a girl for the first time, gladly gave the keychain to Yishan. Eventually, Yu finished cooking, and the table was ready. Lu Yan looked at the 3 bowls of noodles in front of him and wondered whether the braised pork was salty or sweet. Chen Xiang, craving intensely, ate his instant noodles with the braised pork flavor. Yu kindly served a bowl of pork to the 3 seniors. Lu Yang noticed Chen Yu pretending to be shy and fed him a piece directly. To everyone's surprise, it was the first time Chen Yu had tasted such delicious meat, and he asked for an extra bowl of rice. In the end, he finished all the food on the table. On the way up the mountain, the students ran into the 2 reporters again, who were interviewing villagers about strange occurrences on Dingshan. The villagers revealed that the spring water was scalding hot and that a certain rock bloomed flowers at night. A woman suddenly ran up, asking everyone to help find her son. She remembered him saying he had seen a bright object fall from the sky and feared he had been taken by aliens. Yishan asked the reporter to notify her if there was any news about the UFO. She suddenly realized Hanlu was not behind them. An old man mentioned he had just seen a girl climbing the mountain. Yishan guessed that her best friend had rushed ahead to search for the UFO alone. Qian Yu, unable to reach Hanlu by phone, hurried up the mountain to find her. As he went deeper, he scolded her for being so troublesome. To his surprise, Hanlu was sitting on a tree, observing the surroundings with binoculars. Qian Yu begged her not to worry everyone, but Hanlu insisted on searching a little longer. Reluctantly, he climbed the tree to watch over her, promising to bring her back before sunset. Hanlu wondered if Qian Yu thought she was strange. He admitted that he did not believe in supernatural forces, but he would never mock those who did. Meanwhile, Yishan and Chen Xian were surprised to see the hot spring, just as the villagers had described. In the distance, Yu and Chen Qian spotted a rock that bloomed flowers. On the way back, Hanlu tied red ribbons to the trees to mark a path for her sister. When she ran out of red fabric, she improvised using Qian Yu's silhouette. By evening, they still hadn't descended the mountain. Qian Yu noticed something unusual. Silently, he approached and unexpectedly captured what appeared to be an alien. It turned out to be the missing boy the woman had been searching for all day. Hanlu realized she had been on this path before. She wrapped a thermal blanket around the boy and asked Qian Yu to find someone to help. As Hanlu's flashlight was about to die, Qian Yu still hadn't found a way down the mountain. He urged himself not to give up, knowing Hanlu was waiting. Finally, the group of friends located Qian Yu. Following his directions, they rushed to save Hanlu and the boy. In the tense moment, as the friends held each other tightly, Hanlu realized that besides her sister, there were others who could give her warmth. The boy said he had found the UFO. It was just a kite that had fallen down the mountain. Disappointed, Hanlu began to leave. Before she departed from Dingshan, the boy returned the kite to her and hugged her in thanks. A villager apologized to the youths. They explained that the villagers had exaggerated Dingshan's mysteries to attract tourists after seeing the reporters filming. The villagers gifted the group some corn and promised to meet again soon. On the bus, Hanlu quietly shed tears. Qian Yu shared his headphones with her. He told her to cry if she wanted and reassured her that although they didn't find a UFO, they had brought home a very cool kite. Hanlu silently thanked Qian Yu. Even though he didn't believe in aliens, he still agreed to search with her. She remembered being teased by friends as a child and wished she had met him sooner. At the start of the new school week, Hanlu stubbornly believed that he liked her. Their homeroom teacher called everyone to gather in front of the whole school. Just as the teacher was about to give a lecture, the principal arrived to recognize 7 students. It turned out the television station had sent a letter praising the school's astronomy club. They had saved a child during a field survey on Mount Dingshan. Each of them held a certificate against their chest, faces glowing with pride as the entire school applauded. Yixian thought that the club's renewed fame meant it would definitely not be disbanded. With 7 members, they could even recruit 3 more and meet all requirements. Qian Yu said he hadn't agreed to join unless he could be the president. When Hanlu agreed, Qian Yu officially announced the relaunch of the Astronomy Club. At the airport, Qian Yu picked up his parents and sister and brought them home. Tian Ran, worried about her younger brother, quickly mentioned a wheelchair for their grandfather. After a full day of traveling, she sat down to rest for a while. Meanwhile, the 3 girls visited a music store. Hanlu noticed a pervert staring at Qian's rear and shot him a sharp warning look. She quickly buttoned her shirt and led the 2 friends into the restroom. Yixian immediately understood and ran to pour warm water for Qian. The 3 of them enjoyed the music together. It was also the first time Hanlu strolled through the streets with her friends. Back at home, Qian Yu returned a pair of gloves to his sister. He wondered about the other glove, but Tian Ran wanted to keep it a secret. She thanked her younger brother with a game disc that Qian Yu had always wished for. She told their parents she would return to the city, but decided to stay here with their grandparents. During dinner, Qian Yu proudly shared that the school had praised him. He wanted to keep it a secret to surprise his parents at the parent-teacher meeting. However, his mother said she would be busy attending a meeting with colleagues and could not stay until the meeting. Tian Ran, noticing her brother's disappointment, wanted to go in their parents' place. Mrs. Lin reminded her frail daughter to rest at home. Still, Tian Ran pouted and insisted on going to Qian Yu's school, hoping also to enjoy some fresh air. Meanwhile, Hanlu remembered that Qian Yu was familiar with teacher Jing. The teacher held the keys to all the classrooms. She called Qian Yu to ask him to borrow the key to the astronomy observatory. He agreed, since the next day he would help his sister bring tea to teacher Jing. Qian Yu met Hanlu on the rooftop and apologized for not being able to get the key. Hanlu knew that since he knew teacher Jing well, he could definitely sneak in and take the key. Qian Yu hadn't agreed yet, but Hanlu boldly declared that he knew the way into the observatory. The group immediately praised him. They thought their big brother was both handsome and smart. Qian Yu beamed with pride. He insisted he would go straight to the office to get the key. Hanlu recalled the parent-teacher meeting, so the teachers wouldn't be in the office. She began planning a strategy to lure the teacher outside while distracting the others. Once all the teachers returned to their classrooms, the 3 boys secretly turned off the valves in the girls' restroom. Qian and Yixian watched teacher Jing go fix the pipes, then immediately locked him inside the restroom. Meanwhile, Qian Yu helped Hanlu sneak into the office. After finalizing their battle plan, Hanlu thanked her friends for accompanying her. On the day of the parent-teacher meeting, everyone took their positions, ready for action. Chen Xiang stared at the 4 valves in front of him, unsure which one to turn. Lu Yan, hearing Dai Yu say his mother was coming, randomly twisted the middle valve. Upstairs, Hanlu saw teacher Jing step outside and slowly slipped into the office. Unexpectedly, the teacher had carefully locked the door before leaving. Qian Yu found the key placed up high. They split up to find the key marked for the Astronomy observatory. At the same time, teacher Jing returned to the office to fetch a missing tool for fixing the faucet. Qian quickly warned Qian Yu, but the teacher was almost back. Hanlu dragged Qian Yu to hide at the back. She was afraid of being discovered and accidentally pressed close to him. Both of them felt flustered but tried to stay calm, waiting for the teacher to leave. Seeing teacher Jing return, Qian locked the restroom door. Qian used this opportunity to open a valve. He turned it so forcefully that a pipe burst. Yu watched the water flood from the restroom but couldn't remove the broom blocking the door. Meanwhile, Hanlu still hadn't found the key to the Astronomy observatory. Just then, she received an urgent message from Qian. They quickly put the key away to go help their friends. The group pooled all their strength and finally freed teacher Jing. Qian was shocked to see her mother also in the restroom. Teacher Jing instructed the students to stop the water so he could turn off the valve. With youthful bravado, they weren't afraid of anything. They all removed their jackets and worked together to block the strong water flow. As a result, the homeroom teacher warned the students that if they misbehaved again, the astronomy club would be disbanded. In addition, the school said Qian Yu would be expelled if he didn't cut his hair. The next day, the student council president sealed the astronomy club. The group had not followed school rules, and they reminded the leader that without reform, the club would definitely be disbanded. Hanlu suddenly stepped outside, leading a crying Yishan. The student council representative assumed she couldn't accept the reality and left first. It turned out Yishan was moved to tears while watching a new movie. Hanlu wondered why Qian Yu still refused to cut his hair. Qian reminded her friend that students who disobey rules could even be expelled. Yet Qian Yu remained adamant. After school, Qian asked everyone to help carry a cabinet for her mother. When Qian Yu saw them heading to his mother's hair salon, he used being busy as an excuse to leave early. Qian quickly blocked him so Qian could tie him up. Qian Yu resisted and scolded Hanlu for going too far. He still refused to cut his hair and refused to join the astronomy club. Late at night, Qian called her sister, Tian Ran, for help to sneak into his room while he slept. Qian held a piece of paper over the flashlight to guide Qian in cutting Qian Yu's hair. Suddenly, Qian sneezed, sending hair into Qian's eyes. The group stayed silent and continued cutting. Unexpectedly, Qian Yu woke up, thinking he saw a ghost in the middle of the night. The group ran outside, asking Tian Ran why he wouldn't let them cut his hair. Qian Yu recalled being scolded for long hair in the past. He had asked his mother to cut it, but she rushed back to the city for urgent surgery on a patient. After repeated delays, he begged her to cut a few strands for him. In a panic, he went to wash his hair. By the time he came out, his mother had already left, leaving only a salon membership card for him. After hearing Qian Yu's story, Hanlu understood his feelings. Qian Yu also hoped his parents could understand him. Yu remembered that the school had launched a long-distance running and broadcasting contest. Participation would earn points and could improve the astronomy club's ranking. To join the broadcasting contest, each student had to write an essay about their dream. Qian Yu decided to join as well, much to the group's delight. While everyone else buried themselves in writing, he still couldn't think of the right words. He decided to copy a sample essay instead. Before the broadcast, Liu Yang reminded Hanlu to submit her draft. She used the excuse of being busy with the running contest to avoid submitting it. In fact, Hanlu had already finished writing, but she couldn't reveal the secret between her and her sister. She also didn't want to lie about her own ideals. In the broadcasting room, Liu Yang apologized to his co-host for missing an essay. Just then, Hanlu walked in. She submitted her full-length essay to Liu Yang, believing that reading her ideals aloud was a way to nurture her dreams. Hello, dear friends. Since I was little, I've wanted to become a fighter pilot, but I didn't know how difficult this path would be. To meet the physical standards, I persistently run 10 kilometers each week. Along the way, I hope to scatter seeds of dreams and paint my own rainbow in the sky. I believe that with effort, dreams can come true. Later, Qian Yu invited Hanlu to the rooftop. He apologized for having said harsh words. Hanlu thought his refusal to cut his hair was similar to her own persistence in protecting the astronomy club. He told her, "If you give up your dream for me, I could cut my hair for you." Hanlu recalled calling Qian Yu's mother last night. She explained that he always waited for his mother to cut his hair because it was a rare moment to be close to family. Qian Yu's stubbornness was only a way of seeking more attention and care from his mother. Following the instructions from his aunt, Hanlu placed a cloth around Qian Yu's neck. She carefully cut each lock of hair, avoiding scars behind his ears. She continued to drape the cloth forward, knowing he was prone to tears if hair fell into his eyes. Qian Yu remarked that there was only one person in the world who understood his habits like this. He knew his mother had guided Hanlu in and cutting his hair. He asked why his mother never kept her promises. Whenever she was busy or dedicated at the hospital, he always waited silently for her. But to her, all work seemed more important than him. Hanlu thought that if Qian Yu's mother didn't care for him, she wouldn't remember all his little habits. He asked why she couldn't give him just 5 minutes. Hanlu wished she could even wait 5 minutes like he did, because the person she loved most was no longer by her side. In the warm glow of the late afternoon, they calmed their emotions and continued, finally completing a haircut that looked beautiful. The next day, Qian Yu's new look surprised and delighted everyone. To get into the observatory, Hanlu asked to learn lockpicking. When Qian Yu explained her plan, the friends eagerly offered to help. The more people who learned, the higher the chance to enter the observatory. Lu Yang watched Hanlu struggle with the lock. He guessed she wouldn't succeed until graduation. To his shock, she suddenly unlocked it, leaving him speechless. Once the 2 guards left, the group sneaked into the Tao observatory. Hanlu found the lock rusted and difficult to turn. They took turns trying, hoping luck would be on their side. Qian Yu shouted that the guard was returning. Just as Hanlu managed to open the lock, they hurried inside, only to find nothing but a pile of wires on the floor. Hearing the guard, the group panicked and ran. Qian suddenly twisted her ankle, and the guard caught Lu Yang. Qian Yu quickly wrapped the guard with a banner, allowing his friends to escape. The guard grabbed Qian Yu, revealing his Spider-Man underwear. The friends couldn't stop laughing but waited for their big brother to join them. Finally, they all reached a safe spot. Qian Yu wondered why the observatory had no telescope. Yu guessed that was why the school had closed it. Hanlu's eyes filled with tears as her fleeting hope vanished. Back home, she remembered how Qian Yu looked tonight, very much like a character from a comic. Could he be the ally she had been searching for? On Qian Yu's birthday, he invited friends to his house. Hanlu wanted to use the opportunity to find clues proving he was her ally. Just then, Tian Ran showed everyone childhood photos of his younger brother. Hanlu noticed that Qian Yu had a scar on his hand back in 2000. Before she could ask about it, his grandparents called them for dinner. While Hanlu went to the bathroom, Lu Yang tried to slip a doll into her bag. Qian Yu thought Hanlu wouldn't like the gift. They struggled over the bag, accidentally dropping items onto the birthday cake. Qian Yu temporarily locked the bathroom door, giving the others time to clean up the mess. Yixian discovered a device storing birthday messages for Hanlu. Just then, Tian Ran stepped outside. She immediately changed expression when she saw the messaging device. After seeing Hanlu off at home, Jian was certain that Hanlu still used the device to contact her sister. Yu recalled that they had also mentioned the star and the whale. Yixian wondered who was pretending to be Hanyu and feared that if this continued, Hanlu would become increasingly paranoid. Qian Yu returned to see his sister. He said the communication station had stopped working, and Hanlu's device shouldn't have been able to receive anything unless someone had created a personal station for her. He wondered why. Back then, Tian Ran had been so eager to ask teacher Jing to make a walkie-talkie. Tian Ran recounted that she had once shared a hospital room with Hanyu. They became close after discovering they both enjoyed reading stories about master ball throwers. Hanyu's presence gave Tian Ran extra motivation to keep living. But after one emergency, Tian Ran survived, while the vibrant Hanyu tragically left the world. Tian Ran remembered that it was the first day of 2000. Hanlu had permanently lost her sister, and Tian Ran had lost her best friend. For both Tian Ran and Hanlu, that day felt like the end of the world. Before leaving life behind, Hanyu drew 4 comic panels for her younger sister, weaving a complete story of a century-long battle. In the 4th panel, an ally protected all teammates as they retreated. In that world, he was the only one whose memories were not erased, which is why Hanlu had always searched for someone like him. Tian Ran hoped Qian Yu would become that ally, so Hanlu's fragile hope would never fade. Hanlu waited for Qian Yu on the way to school. She asked if he knew about the century-long battle and revealed that she was the Red Lotus captain, dedicated to protecting the world. She had realized Qian Yu was her ally, so he no longer needed to disguise himself. The scar on Qian Yu's hand appeared in 2000 during the time of the Great Battle. Qian Yu did not understand what she meant, but he promised not to tell anyone. He silently apologized for being unable to convince himself to lie to her. Meanwhile, the group of friends planned to test Hanlu's psychology, with each person responsible for a few questions so she wouldn't notice anything unusual. They gathered at a bubble tea shop to compile the results. Hanlu happened to pass by and saw them hanging out without inviting her. She suddenly remembered their strange questions from recent days and realized it was a personality disorder test. She felt as if she had fallen into a deep abyss, because in the end, no one truly understood her. Hanlu waited for Qian Yu at her doorstep. She asked if he was really her ally. He went inside to fetch a childhood photo to prove that the scar on his hand came from falling in a pig pen. Feeling embarrassed, he hadn't kept the photo in his album. Hanlu sighed and made Qian Yu swear not to tell anyone about the century-long battle. She looked at him hesitantly, knowing she shouldn't trust anyone. Then she told Qian Yu that they should cut ties. The next day, Qian Yu came down to Hanlu's class. He said he could give up the position of Astronomy Club president. He only asked her to trust that he wouldn't tell anyone about the century-long battle. He didn't want to cut ties with her. On the rooftop, the whole group waited for Hanlu's final answer, but Qian Yu revealed that she refused to forgive friends who had lied. Yu invited everyone to his house to compile the final test results. They waited until Hanlu went inside before sneaking into Yu's house, not expecting that she had already witnessed everything from behind the door. Before checking the results, Qian Yu asked if everyone could accept losing a friend like Hanlu, and if not, they should act as if nothing had happened. None of them had ever seen the messaging device, nor had they carried out the test. Yishan objected, saying she couldn't ignore her friend's paranoia. More than losing a friend, she hoped Hanlu wouldn't fall ill. Liu Yang thought that no matter the results, everyone had used their friendship to protect Hanlu. Meanwhile, Hanlu remembered that as a child, her parents had taken her to see a psychologist. Although the doctor diagnosed her as normal, her mother still thought there was something wrong whenever she constantly mentioned the century-long battle. She told her sister that in the end, she only had her. Hanlu invited her friends to the rooftop in a heavy rain. She asked if they had seen the psychological test results and said that having to pretend to be close to everyone had been very frustrating. She declared that from now on, they were no longer friends. Qian Yu told Hanlu to turn around and look at the people who had devoted themselves to her. Could she really heartlessly cut ties with them? Hanlu admitted that she had schizophrenia, paranoid hallucinations, and violent tendencies. She also truly hated everyone. After that rainy day, their friendship had truly ended. Despite everyone's efforts, it seemed impossible to make up for their mistakes. Hanlu became very cold, as if she had erased all memories of her friends. Everyone could only hope that their sincere and passionate feelings might move her, so she would return once more to the world of friends. On the way home, Hanlu happened to meet Tian Ran and brought her sister back. Qian Yu met Hanlu at her doorstep. Thinking she had come to see him, Hanlu denied it, but he stubbornly refused to believe her, especially since she hadn't spoken to him for 3 days. Hanlu tried to speed away on her bike. She even deliberately swerved toward a stone on the road, but instead of Qian Yu falling, she almost tumbled herself. Qian Yu quickly caught Hanlu, and in the process, her cheek lightly brushed against his lips. They lay awkwardly on the grass, unable to speak. Hanlu hurriedly set her bike upright and rushed home. Qian Yu still couldn't believe he had just kissed Hanlu. At that moment, Liu Yang called for an online meeting, officially announcing that he would confess his feelings to Hanlu. Liu Yang remembered the moment Hanlu brought her article to the radio station. She seemed like an angel descending to earth, and he completely fell for her. Early the next morning, Qian Yu stood waiting at Hanlu's doorstep. He asked if she thought he had revealed secrets to their friends because they had secretly tested her psychology. Qian Yu swore he hadn't told anyone, and if he did, he would be unable to pursue the person he liked. Liu Yang invited Hanlu to a small flower garden where he had prepared many paper stars. He confessed that he seriously wanted to be by her side. Liu Yang knew Hanlu hated him, and he had never expected her to accept his confession. But even if he couldn't get close, he was willing to be like a satellite orbiting her. When Hanlu said they were not on the same path, he affirmed that he was willing to love the stars. They practiced being pilots together, and he even trusted her sister to be somewhere in outer space. Hanlu was startled. She asked how he knew her secret. Liu Yang admitted that the group had carelessly peeked at her messaging device. They only conducted the psychological test out of concern for her. Meanwhile, Qian Yu was restless. Chen Qian quickly noticed his feelings and guessed he was worried that Liu Yang might succeed in confessing. After school, Liu Yang seemed absent-minded. He admitted to everyone that he had accidentally mentioned the messaging device to Hanlu. At home, Hanlu realized she had misunderstood Qian Yu, revealing the secret. Just then, she noticed the jacket Tian Ran had borrowed the other day and discovered Qian Yu's book. She was surprised to find the Red Lotus squad badge hidden inside. Hanlu hurriedly rode off to find Qian Yu because he was the one she had been searching for. But at the same time, Qian Yu remembered his promise. If he revealed the secret, he would not be able to pursue the person he liked. So he kept his word, determined to chase the girl in his heart. Qian Yu gathered flowers, ready to confess his feelings to Hanlu. However, when they were just across the street from each other, he received a call from his grandmother that Tian Ran had suddenly lost consciousness. He ran home as fast as he could and rushed her to the hospital. Hanlu could not find Qian Yu and couldn't call him. She only saw the bouquet of roses hanging behind his bike. The next morning, Qian Yu finally checked his phone just as Hanlu called. He intended to explain why he hadn't answered, but but Hanlu apologized first for misunderstanding him. She had just heard from Qian that Tian Ran had been transferred to the provincial hospital, so she would wait for him to return. Qian Yu promised that when they met again, he would tell Hanlu something important. At the breakfast cafe, the group sighed as only 5 members remained. Qian noticed Hanlu secretly. Following teacher Jing across the street, she guessed that Hanlu had not given up investigating the telescope. Yishan, who always considered Hanlu her closest friend, decided to help with the investigation. The group began tracking teacher Jing's every move, researching his personal life. They saw him enter Qian's mother's massage shop for neck and shoulder therapy. Lu Yang guessed that teacher Jing must be close to Aunt Meng to go so far. Qian denied it, saying her mother had never mentioned him. At home, Qian asked her mother if she was secretly involved with teacher Jing. Mrs. Meng explained that teacher Jing had recently suffered from neck and shoulder pain, which was why he often came for massages. Qian asked her mother to observe his family situation, as she suspected teacher Jing might be secretly selling the school telescope. Finally, they got a result. Mrs. Meng confirmed that teacher Jing was a good person. Just then, Hanlu arrived and asked why. Everyone had been helping her track teacher Jing. Yishan handed Hanlu a basic information sheet about teacher Jing, saying she would no longer investigate him and also didn't want to maintain a relationship with Hanlu. Dayu explains that everyone wants to help but fears Hanlu will refuse. No one meant to read her messages secretly. They only wanted to check on her mental state. Lu Yang admits he tried to slip a doll into Hanlu's bag, which accidentally caused him to drop it on the table. Everyone expresses how much they miss Hanlu. Qian runs to hug her. Like the others, she does not want to lose a good friend. Hanlu needs time to think. She wants to see if she truly needs friends. In a sudden downpour, she reads the survey paper about Mr. Jing. She calls Qian Yu, asking why he values friendship so much. Qian Yu advises Hanlu to live true to her youth. She can regret and admit mistakes, or she can stand in the rain and let herself go a little crazy. Everyone calls out Hanlu's name together. Their voices echo in unison. The 5 friends stand waiting. They are ready to shield her and endure the rain by her side. In the cold rain, Hanlu feels warmth for the first time. She quietly thinks that perhaps this is what youth really feels like. They fear neither sky nor earth. Pursuing ideals together, they experience anger and frustration, but receive even more happiness in return. Suddenly, Hanlu wants to do things she has never done before, to live fully, to embrace life with her friends, and to give her all in the moments that matter. On the rooftop, Hanlu apologizes for deliberately giving serious answers on everyone's psychological test. She shares that she took a similar test as a child. She admits that she resented her friends, thinking they, like others, saw her as a monster. Qian scolds Hanlu for making them worry. At that moment, they see Mr. Jing bringing gifts into the teacher's office. It turns out he had asked Mr. Guo to introduce him to potential marriage partners. After Mr. Jing returns to the technical office, Qian confronts him directly, saying she will not allow her mother to marry him. She questions why he lied to her mother, claiming he was single despite having a girlfriend. Mr. Jing explains that the photo in question was taken in 1996. The woman had already had a husband and children. After a factory fire left her severely burned, she quietly left the city. He traveled everywhere looking for her, which is why he remained single until now. 3 years ago, he saw that she had a happy family in a small town. He had long let go, but kept the photo as a memento. In the end, he reflects that he once loved someone bravely. Hanlu recalls a time she saw Mr. Jing walking with the principal and her homeroom teacher. They were carrying a savings book to the bank. She analyzes that if Mr. Jing had stolen the telescope, he must have had an accomplice. Dayu becomes angry, insisting his mother would never do such a thing. At home, Dayu finds Yishan in his house. She claims she came to borrow a novel, then quickly leaves. Dayu asks his mother why the observatory has no telescope. The next day, Hanlu says she plans to invite a reporter to the school, hoping to use the opportunity to investigate the telescope. Yishan reminds her that they don't even know a reporter. However, Hanlu still has the phone number of the journalist who once gave them a ride up to Dingshan. Chen worries that involving a reporter will cause a big commotion. Dayu shares that he already asked his mother and believes she is not involved with the telescope. Later, Yishan pretends to spill water on the table but secretly hides the reporter's phone number. In class, Hanlu announces that the reporter has agreed to come to the school. It turns out she had already saved the journalist's number on her phone. The day before the TV station interview, Yishan decides to call the female reporter. She tells the reporter on Hanlu's behalf that the interview plans must be postponed due to unforeseen events. Hanlu goes to the teacher's office. She informs Mr. that the reporter will arrive in an hour to interview the astronomy club. Hanlu apologizes for forgetting forgetting to ask the homeroom teacher for permission. As she was busy studying, Mr. Feng quickly tidies up and rushes to the gate to welcome the two journalists. On the rooftop, the group sees the reporters arrive and quickly heads down to the club office. At the seaside, Hanlu asks Yishan why she acted that way. She had noticed Yishan behaving strangely ever since she planned to invite the reporters. Yishan admits that she had locked the door and could not give the key to anyone. Hanlu reveals that she had prepared a backup plan. She replaced the observatory lock and personally gave the key to the reporter the previous evening. Meanwhile, Mr. Jing apologizes to the journalist for losing the observatory key. The male reporter pretends to be interested in lockpicking and secretly uses the key to open the observatory door. As they expected, the telescope was nowhere to be found. At that moment, Yishan panics and breaks open the rooftop door. Hanlu helps her calm down. She asks Yishan what she has been hiding. Yishan collapses to the ground, tears streaming down her face. Yishan confides in Hanlu that the teachers sold the telescope to collect enough tuition for underprivileged students, including herself. When Hanlu guesses that the telescope went missing a year ago, Yishan notices that it coincides with the time she received her scholarship. She confirms the truth with her homeroom teacher. Because this matter involves many people, Yishan felt she had to stop them. After entering high school, her family fell into debt due to her father's failed business. Her mother's grocery store had to be handed over to someone else. To raise enough tuition, her mother even knelt to ask for extra work at the store. At the observatory, the principal assures that he did not seek personal gain. However, the reporter wants to know why the telescope was sold. Hanlu rushes to ask the journalist not to reveal anything. She had not realized that the school had made sacrifices so many students could attend. The reporter wonders why the principal kept such a good deed secret. He explains that if the sale were publicized, the school would receive praise, but it could disrupt the students' lives. He wants them to grow up peacefully without suffering any harm. Knowing that Yishan feels ashamed, Qian and Hanlu ambush their friend. They insist they are only upset that Yishan did not speak up sooner. Yishan opens up about her family suddenly facing a crisis, which even she struggled to accept. She wanted to continue presenting her previous self to maintain her image in front of others. Hanlu reassures her that no matter what happens, Yishan will always be her best friend. The whole group prepares a lavish meal, waiting for Yishan to join and celebrate together. Everyone sits around the bubbling hot pot, raising their glasses to celebrate a passionate youth. While Hanlu and Chanchan go to cut fruit, Luyan calls to check on Qian Yu. His mother answers, reporting that Tian Ran's condition is not looking good. Luyan believes friends should be together in times of hardship, so he immediately plans a trip to the city. He gathers everyone at the bus station. Luyan learns of a famous wishing bridge near the city hospital and invites the group to go there, hoping to pray for Tian Ran's safety. In her hospital bed, Tian Ran recalls happy memories with Hanyu. On a snowy night, they sneak out of the hospital together. They get so caught up in the fun that they miss the last bus. Tian Ran gives Hanyu a glove, a prized ball-throwing accessory, as a gift. In return, Hanyu arranges a special ride back to the hospital for her. Tian Ran asks her younger brother to burn the glove if she is no longer alive. Qian Yu finally understands Hanlu's feelings. He truly wishes for his sister to live in peace, like someone from another world. Hanlu quietly enters the hospital room. She tells everyone to wait downstairs, fearing that a crowd might disturb Tian Ran. Seeing Qian Yu looking unwell, she urges him to rest for a while. Tian Ran wakes to find Hanlu asleep beside her bed. She gently strokes the younger girl's hair, much like Hanyu once did. When Hanlu wakes, she gives Tian Ran a good luck charm. She shares that she has an older sister around Tian Ran's age and always felt that if her sister met Tian Ran, they would become close friends. When Qian Yu sees Hanlu out, he calls Yishan to pick her up. Hanlu reassures him that everyone has always been by his side. They had walked countless laps just to find the wishing bridge. Normally, Qian doesn't like talking to strangers, but that day she asked more than 10 people for directions. The usually loud Lu Yang stayed silent, praying for over 10 minutes. Hanlu tells Qian Yu that if he wants to cry, he should let it out. They will always be there for him. Qian Yu admits he's afraid of losing his only sister. The next day, the group waits outside the operating room, terrified. Qian Yu remembers his sister's words to burn her precious glove if she doesn't survive. Finally, the surgery ends. Qian Yu's mother comes out and announces that her daughter has been saved. Hanlu watches everyone celebrate with Qian Yu. She realizes that as long as friends are by your side, any hardship can be overcome. Back at the dorm, Chen Shang suggests visiting 10 tourist spots during the break. Lu Yang argues there's not enough time and proposes a trip to the water park instead. Yishan gets excited at the thought of meeting handsome guys. Chan mentions that the city also has an observatory. After a fun day together, the group went to a restaurant to enjoy crayfish. Liu Yang remembered that Qian Yu once ate an entire pot of crayfish by himself. Dai Yu, knowing that Qian couldn't handle spicy food, peeled the crayfish and dipped it into the soup for her. Yishan noticed that Hanlu had ordered a non-spicy crayfish dish just for Qian while peeling his own crayfish. Watching them, Yishan thought she wanted a caring boyfriend like Hanlu. Later, everyone gathered to watch the fireworks show. Liu Yang recalled that Qian Yu once dreamed of making a 10-year promise, just like Li Xiaoyao in Chinese Paladin. Hanlu joked that Qian Yu probably wanted to save the world. At that moment, Qian Yu appeared, saying he couldn't break his promise to make a 10-year wish while watching fireworks. Hanlu remembered that Qian Yu had told her he wanted to say something important. Qian Yu confessed that he liked her, but just as he spoke, the fireworks exploded above them, drowning out his words. Under the dazzling lights, Qian Yu wished to become a real-life Li Xiaoyao. Liu Yang vowed to become the coolest radio host in the country. Chen Shan dreamed of being a police officer who punishes evil. Chan Chan wanted to pursue dance. Dai Yu hoped to open a bakery full of customers. Yi Shan aimed to become an excellent doctor, and Han Lu wished to pilot a fighter jet to protect peace. While everyone went to watch the fireflies, Han Lu kept her eyes on the sky. She told Qian Yu that she had found the constellation Cetus and asked if he could hear how fast her heart was beating. It was her first time seeing the place where her sister once lived, star system 12 light-years away from Earth. Han Lu looked at Qian Yu with a faint smile and teased him for joining the battle of the century without even knowing his enemy. Then, she apologized for misunderstanding him in the past. She returned the Red Lotus Squad badge to him, saying that if he didn't want to acknowledge their alliance, she wouldn't force him. But Qian Yu suddenly took her hand and said he was honored to be her ally. Touched, Han Lu felt that she had finally found someone who truly understood her. At the hospital, Qian Yu asked his sister why she had hidden the badge inside his novel. Tian Ran knew her brother disliked lies, but she had no choice. She told him that when the doctor asked Han Lu's family to prepare for the worst, Han Lu refused to believe her sister would die. Crying, she ran around the hospital and accidentally fell into a pond. The man who saved her said she never called for help, fearing her sister wouldn't be able to accept her death. Tian Ran created a fairy tale for. Later, Qian Yu brought local specialties to his friends and told them he wouldn't return to Kushan. No, 8 high school. He decided to stay in the city to spend more time with his family, afraid that his sister might not be as lucky next time. If anything were to happen, he said, he would regret it deeply. Everyone knew Qian Yu had thought long and hard before making this decision. No matter where he went, he would always be an important part of their group of 7. As Hanlu got into the car, she tried to catch one last glimpse of Qian Yu through the window. None of them wanted to say goodbye to the loud yet warm-hearted Qian Yu. At the start of the new school year, Mr. Feng announced the arrival of a transfer student. The new student would sit in the empty seat next to Hanlu. The class immediately prepared a welcome ceremony, dragging Hanlu into it as well. When the boy entered the classroom, he quickly noticed Hanlu hiding under the desk. It was Qian Yu who greeted his new deskmate as paper confetti floated down, adding a touch of warmth to their reunion. Over in the senior class, Gao Yang had become arrogant ever since Qian Yu transferred schools. He even forced Liu Yang and Chen Xiang to kneel and clean his shoes, but the two refused, saying they'd rather die than call Gao Yang boss. Just as Gao Yang was about to punch Chen Xiang, Qian Yu appeared in time to stop him. Terrified, Gao Yang hurried to say it was all just a joke. Liu Yan then deliberately stepped on Gao Yang's shoes in return. Later, on the rooftop, the group scolded Qian Yu for showing up without warning. Qian Yu explained that after his sister recovered, she wanted to return to their hometown to live with their grandparents. He followed her back, but had to repeat 11th grade because he had missed too many classes. Hanlu whispered that she was happy to see Qian Yu again. She told him she planned to join the national astronomy competition for high school students. If she won first place, she could receive a professional telescope. When news spread that the astronomy club would compete nationwide, 2 students, Dwan Chi and Feng Feng, came to sign up. Knowing that aside from Hanlu, the other members weren't very familiar with astronomy, Dwanchi suggested that she invite him and Feng Feng to join, as they were skilled enough to face competitors from across the country. To test their knowledge, Hanlu asked a few astronomy questions. As expected, both of them answered with impressive accuracy. Hanlu gladly welcomed them into the club. From that day on, the 3 of them became deeply absorbed in astronomy discussions, while Qian Yu quietly stood aside, feeling like an outsider. For Dwanchi, it was his first time meeting someone like Hanlu, someone who could debate on equal footing. Seeing Qian Yu standing at the door, Feng Feng went out to talk to him. Qian Yu, feeling a bit suffocated, asked Hanlu to step outside for some fresh air. He admitted that Dwanchi was right. He didn't really help her much. much, but Hanlu told him that he was her ally. Even if he didn't speak or do anything, his presence alone brought her peace of mind. Whenever she felt nervous, just looking at him made her feel calmer. "We'll win this," she said. "We'll bring that telescope home." The national astronomy competition for high school students officially began. Each participant had to complete a written test, followed by a telescope assembly round with 4 representatives, and finally, a debate. Hanlu's team was assigned to defend the idea that humanity is the most advanced civilization in the universe. Qian Yu worried that since Hanlu believed the Cetus constellation was stronger, it might be hard for her to win this debate. During the discussion, Hanlu stood up and concluded that humanity might seem as fragile as a thin sheet of paper, but it is precisely because of that fragility that we continue to rise after every failure. Humans never stop pushing their limits, and no matter what civilization they face, they don't easily fall. She argued that the advancement of a civilization doesn't depend on force, but on its faith when confronting challenges. The judges commented that Hanlu's argument was purely hypothetical and gave her another chance to clarify her point. Hanlu then insisted that humanity had once fought against another civilization. Seeing her disappointed expression afterward, Qian Yu encouraged her, saying that finishing second in a national competition was already an incredible achievement. He admitted he never imagined being part of such a large-scale contest. Qian Yu told her that as long as they had done their best, winning or losing didn't matter. What mattered was that everyone would still be there to share the moment with her. When the students returned, Mr. Feng especially praised Hanlu for her excellent performance. Their homeroom teacher was proud of them for giving their all, not just for the astronomy club, but also for No. 8 High School. She announced that she had requested support from the Ministry of Education to help rebuild the observatory. The group rushed excitedly to the site, where they saw a telescope larger than any they had ever imagined. While decorating the stage for the Mid-Autumn Festival, Chen Shan seemed distracted. After some persistent questioning from Lu Yang, he finally admitted that he liked Yi Xian and wanted to pursue her. Lu Yang encouraged his friend to take advantage of the festival atmosphere to increase his chances of success. Before the performance, Chen Xiang asked Yi Xian to meet him privately. He wondered if she had been avoiding him because she disliked him. When Yi Xian denied it, he asked if that meant she actually cared about him. He suggested they listen to a song together while he waited for her answer. When the song ended, Chen Xiang seemed more determined than ever. He confessed that he really liked Yi Xian, admitting he wasn't as handsome as the leads in idol dramas, but he promised to protect her anytime she needed him. On the rooftop, Dayu prepared a surprise for Chan Chan. Holding a sweet cake in his hands, he slowly walked toward her and confessed his feelings. He told her that he liked her, that he loved watching her enjoy the food he made. Chan Chan, pretending to be upset, scolded him for ruining her taste for store-bought desserts. As punishment, she told him he'd have to keep baking for her from now on. Meanwhile, Lu Yang returned to the flower garden where he had once confessed to Hanlu. Seeing the star buried in the sand, he felt the urge to leave his feelings behind there as well. He quietly said goodbye to Hanlu, admitting that she had been like a gust of wind sweeping through his heart, but he couldn't lose her as a friend. So, he decided to part ways with his first love and with Hanlu herself. Back on stage, Lu Yang wished his big bro good luck with his confession. When Qian Yu was about to reveal the name of the girl he liked, Lu Yang already knew it was Hanlu. Pretending he had long given up, he smiled and gave Qian Yu his full support. Under the stage lights, Qian Yu dedicated a song to Hanlu. Every note he wrote came straight from his heart. But their homeroom teacher, upon hearing her student daring to sing a love song, immediately called Qian Yu to her office. Startled, he dashed off the stage, accidentally hitting his guitar against a chair as he ran. Hanlu suddenly appeared, pulling Qian Yu away from the crowd. The three couples had each confessed their feelings in different ways, yet all ended up the same, running for their lives. They coincidentally gathered in the schoolyard, holding hands as they escaped from the teachers chasing after them. Later, on the rooftop, Qian Yu apologized for getting Hanlu in trouble and causing her parents to be called. He made up an excuse, saying he lost a basketball bet and was forced to confess, so he had no choice but to pick her. Hearing that, Hanlu felt both disappointed and angry. During self-study period, Qian Yu sent Hanlu a note asking her to walk home together, but she replied that she was busy. From the schoolyard, he later saw Hanlu walking with Dwan Chi. Dayu guessed that since Dwan Chi was preparing for pilot school, Hanlu might just be asking him for advice, but Lu Yang suggested they might be going out for dinner or a movie, which only fueled Qian Yu's jealousy. Enraged, he locked Dwan Chi's bike as payback. After the teachers and parents found out about the students' relationships, they started keeping a close watch on them. Spotting the boys hiding in the distance, Chan Chan signaled them to pick up the items from the water tank. Inside, Dayu found a list of Qian Chan's favorite desserts, while Chen Shang received received a toy from Yi Xian. Only Qian Yu found nothing from Hanlu. Later, during a call, Yi Xian and the others picked up Hanlu's phone. She screamed in surprise when she heard her best friend was out walking with Dwan Chi in the cold winter night. Lu Yang could guess from every word Yi Xian blurted out. Each one was sure to make Qian Yu even angrier. Qian Yu ran to the neighborhood and waited for Hanlu in the cold rain. Eventually, she came back. He made up an excuse, saying he was waiting for Yu to pick something up. But when Qian Yu started asking where she had gone with Dwanchi, Hanlu turned suspicious and asked if he was checking up on her. Qian Yu said that as allies, they should care for each other. Hanlu explained that she went with Dwanchi to visit the pilot school because it only opened a female recruitment slot once every 2 years, and she wanted to prepare thoroughly. As the three girls passed by, the snack shop owner reminded them to take their things from the fridge. Yu had left cookies for Chan, and Chen had prepared a music CD for Yi Xian. Hanlu checked as well, but found nothing addressed to her. From then on, the snack shop fridge quietly became their secret exchange box for gifts and tokens. Qian noticed the shy glances between Hanlu and Qian Yu. She guessed that Hanlu had feelings for him. Although Hanlu firmly denied it, Qian was sure she was only pretending not to understand. To Qian, liking someone meant you could feel it just by looking at them. The next day, Hanlu accompanied Dwan Chi to his pilot exam to learn more about the recruitment process. Meanwhile, Qian Yu invited Lu Yang to buy a guitar, and they took the chance to follow Hanlu. Lu Yang joked that their leader was probably on edge since Hanlu was getting close to Dwan Chi but hadn't placed any keepsake in the refrigerator yet. Watching Hanlu walking beside Dwan Chi, Lu Yang grew worried for his friend. Both Hanlu and Dwan Chi were top students aiming for the same pilot school. If Qian Yu didn't take the initiative soon, he would definitely lose her. As Hanlu passed by a souvenir shop, a model fighter jet caught her eye. Dwan Chi offered to buy it for her, but she refused to accept such an expensive gift. After they left, Qian Yu knew exactly what he needed to put into the snack shop's refrigerator. During class, Hanlu invited Yi Xian to go to the restroom together for the first time. Yi Xian congratulated her friend on officially blending into high school life as a girl. When Qian Yu saw them approaching, he reminded Hanlu to check the refrigerator at the convenience store. On the way home, Qian Yu revealed that he had placed a big gift inside, but he suddenly stopped. The refrigerator was gone. The shop owner said she had just sold the old fridge to a scrap station. Qian Yu quickly rode his bike to chase after it and happened to see Hanlu running in the same direction. They finally caught up with the truck carrying used items. Hanlu rushed to look for the gift, but Qian Yu stopped her, saying it wasn't the right place to open it. When the drivers stepped out, they quickly hid under a piece of cardboard. Qian Yu told Hanlu to close her eyes while he opened the fridge first. She excitedly unwrapped the gift, only to find it was the model fighter jet she had loved so much. Hanlu finds a guitar inside the refrigerator. Qian Yu thinks someone must have thrown it away, but it turns out to be a gift from Hanlu. She witnesses the sweet romance between Jing and Song Ruan, while Qian Yu spends the money meant for his guitar on an airplane model for her instead. Hanlu asks if he can sing that song again at the Mid-Autumn Festival party. In the gentle breeze, she listens to his voice blending softly with the sound of the guitar. The words puppy love feel like a wild beast, something students dare not speak of. Their phones are confiscated, their seats are separated, and their feelings have to be hidden away in the refrigerator. But puppy love has another name, first love. It's mixed into a sweet cake and tucked inside a song. If they don't confess now, will anyone ever know years later? And if those feelings are put on pause, will they still exist, unchanged? The first snowflakes of the season begin to fall. Qian Yu walks toward Hanlu and reaches out to brush a snowflake off her shoulder, but she flinches, afraid it's just another one of his pranks. Outside the school gate, Dwan Chi waits for Hanlu. He asks her to open the observatory, remembering that this is the best time to see the bright star in the Orion constellation. He invites her to watch it together that night. From a distance, Qian Yu sees them talking closely and feels a surge of jealousy. At lunchtime, he happens to run into Dwan Chi at a snack shop. He asks why Dwan Chi keeps following Hanlu around. Dwan Chi replies that he doesn't have many friends. As a child, he only played with Feng Feng, the daughter of his mother's friend. Now, for the first time, he's chosen a friend on his own, Hanlu, and he's confident she enjoys being his friend too. Enraged, Qian Yu challenges him to a noodle eating contest. Watching Qian Yu almost choke in his determination to win, Chai calmly hands him a cup of water. Just then, Feng Feng calls Dwan Chi for help. Seeing Qian Yu rushing off with him, Hanlu hurriedly follows behind. Meanwhile, Feng Feng is cornered by a group of thugs in an abandoned building. Their leader, who has a crush on her, forces her to be his girlfriend. Terrified, Feng Feng insists she already has a boyfriend who's skilled in martial arts. The leader doesn't believe her and challenges orders her to call him over. Qian Yu grabs the phone and hands it to Feng Feng, telling her to go find Dwan Chi. Desperate, Feng Feng begs Qian Yu to pretend to be her boyfriend to get rid of the thug. Qian Yu reluctantly agrees. Just then, Hanlu arrives. The gang leader, distracted by her looks, tries to hit on her. Losing control, Qian Yu punches him to the ground. The rest of the gang rushes forward and hold Qian Yu down, forcing Hanlu to step in. From behind, Shan shouts that the police are coming, causing the thugs to scatter in panic. At the hospital, Qian Yu asks his friends to help request leave for him. Feng Feng says she doesn't have class that afternoon and offers to stay with him. Hearing that, Hanlu quickly pulls Qian Yu outside, teasing him about dating while on duty for their club. Qian Yu explains that he only pretended to be Feng Feng's boyfriend to fool the thugs and insists there's nothing between them. Hanlu tells him to get his wounds treated and warns him not to ask Feng Feng to take him home afterward. When Feng Feng returns with the medicine, Qian Yu tells her to stop following him around, to stay safe, and to stop calling him her boyfriend. Knowing Qian Yu likes Hanlu, Feng Feng admits she only got upset because the thug tried to flirt with Hanlu. She guesses Hanlu has also realized Qian Yu's feelings but chooses to play dumb. To repay his help, Feng Feng reveals that Dwan Chi has invited Hanlu to watch the stars with him that evening. At the observatory, Dwan Chi originally plans to photograph the stars, but his lens gradually turns toward Hanlu instead. Suddenly, she notices that the star in the Cetus constellation is dimming. Outside, Qian Yu hesitates to open the observatory door. Feng Feng guesses that when a girl pretends not to understand, it's either because she's waiting for a confession or because she doesn't like the guy. Qian Yu, convinced that Hanlu doesn't like Dwan Chi, finally pushes the door open only to see the two standing very close together. Later, Hanlu overhears Feng Feng offering to walk Qian Yu home. On their way, they stop to watch the nebula. Hanlu's discomfort is obvious. She tries to give them space, but Qian Yu insists on walking her home instead. He asks why she keeps pretending not to know how he feels. Is she angry because he never confessed properly? He reminds her that she spent all her money on a guitar and didn't pull away when he got close. He also saw how upset she was when he pretended to be Feng Feng's boyfriend. If you're waiting for a real confession, he says, then I'll say it right now. But before he can finish, Hanlu stops him. She tells him that if she had to choose between him and Dwan Chi, she would choose Dwan Chi. At home, Qian Yu storms into his sister Tian Ran's room. Furious, he demands to know why allies aren't allowed to fall in love. Hanlu once said that in battle, comrades can't afford to be distracted by feelings, but she lost a kidney because she chose to trust. Tian Ran recalls how at 13, Hanlu used to post online looking for allies on astronomy forums. One day, a man pretending to share her passion lured her into a dangerous online meeting. Since then, Tian Ran has been protective of her. Qian Yu admits he likes Hanlu but confesses that she just rejected him. Meanwhile, Hanlu investigates why the star in the Cetus constellation has dimmed. It's a stable planet, much like the sun, so it shouldn't fade. When she returns to school, she urgently informs her team that the dimming star may signal an alien invasion from Cetus, possibly targeting Earth. Faced with the crisis, Hanlu decides to reform the Scarlet Lotus team and recruit new members. Gathering everyone at the club, she reveals a shocking truth. All the messages they've been receiving through the communicator were actually sent by her sister from the Cetus star. In 1999, Hanlu and her sister fought to protect Earth from a massive alien invasion. Now the beings from the Cetus constellation may be preparing to strike again. Hanlu tells her friends that they must unite and bravely take up arms to defend the world. Qian Yu steps forward, introducing himself as Captain Hanlu's ally in the Great Battle of 1999. He urges everyone to join forces with her to protect Earth. Yishan stands up and vows to fight alongside Hanlu. Seeing that, the others follow suit and agree to join the Scarlet Lotus team, all except Liu Yang, who refuses, thinking everyone has lost their minds. Qian Yu blocks his way and pulls him outside to talk. Liu Yang can't understand why Qian Yu insists on encouraging Hanlu's delusions. Chan, however, believes that since Liu Yang is Hanlu's friend, he should try to understand her better. Hanlu waits for Liu Yang to return. She tells him she won't force him to fight with them. But after a pause, Liu Yang decides to join the Scarlet Lotus squad. Hanlu thanks everyone for standing by her side. She plans to draw up their battle strategy, but first, they must find a way to break free from the restrictions set by their teachers and parents. Hanlu goes to meet with the homeroom teacher. She promises to help each classmate improve their scores in the upcoming exams. In return, if she succeeds, the school must reopen the rooftop and return everyone's confiscated phones. She argues that being together helps them perform better, so there's no reason to keep them apart. The teacher calls in 2 other instructors to bring the students' grade charts. She sets a condition: each student must raise their score by 30 points by the end of the term. Since Hanlu's grades are already among the highest, she must reach nearly a perfect score. Outside, Liu Yan complains that Hanlu didn't discuss this plan with him. He grumbles that he'd rather be dragged into a fight than forced to study. Hanlu tells the group to come over to her house after class to see something important. When they arrive, everyone freezes in front of a memorial photo of Hanlu's sister, Han Yu. Hanlu explains that her parents don't know Han Yu is still alive, so they set up the altar. Her room is covered with astronomy charts and photos. She points to the upper bunk, saying it used to belong to her sister. Before being taken to the Cetus star, Han Yu left behind 4 paintings. Hanlu says she's ready to share her most important secret with them. Hanlu recalls the first day of the year 2000 when she received 4 comic books. Han Yu promised he would return to his sister on a specific date. Except for those who had their memories erased, only one person still remembered the great battle, Qian Yu. On the way home, Qian demanded an explanation from him, and Qian Yu had no choice but to tell her a long story about the bond between Tian Ran and Han Yu. That weekend, Qian Yu took his friends to visit a secret base. As a fan of martial art stories, he believed he could gain many skills by training in the old building. Only Hanlu praised the place for being quiet, saying it was perfect for practicing test questions. After finishing their first set of exercises, Liu Yang ended up in last place. Hanlu promised to help everyone improve their scores by 30 points within the next 10 days. However, Qian questioned whether Hanlu could even solve high school senior level problems, but Hanlu confidently replied that she had already finished reading the entire 12th grade curriculum. She had even marked the key sections for her upperclassmen. Since then, the old house has turned into a tutoring classroom, and everyone carries their books everywhere they go. Tian Ran sees her younger brother studying hard for the first time, while Yi Xian's mother feels happy that her children are staying up late to study together. Their homeroom teacher plans to scold the students for skipping self-study sessions, only to discover that they've been running their own tutoring class in the next room. After class, Qian Yu feels discouraged because his scores are still not enough. Hanlu gets on his bike and asks him to take her to the secret base, where she teaches him a few tips to improve his performance, promising that he'll be able to do it within just one night. It turns out she noticed Qian Yu's strong math skills and wants him to review a bit more to gain a few extra points. Hanlu says her parents are away on a business trip, so she'll stay and wait until Qian Yu finishes his practice test. Seeing her doze off, he gently covers her with his jacket and lets her rest her head on his shoulder. The final exam day finally arrives. Everyone gives their best for a shared goal. Even though they know Hanlu's ideal outcome might not be possible, they remain by her side. On the school field, Yishan carefully asks Hanlu if she would be upset if everyone failed the exam. Hanlu thanks her friends for all their effort, saying that even if they fail, they can still chat online or secretly meet outside of school. Yishan feels that Hanlu has truly changed. Hanlu confides that ever since she shared her secret with her friends, she has felt much lighter, and as long as they stand together, she has nothing to fear. When they hear that the teacher is posting the exam results, the group rushes to check their scores. However, Mr. Guo stops them, telling the students to follow him to the office instead. Facing their homeroom teacher holding the grade sheet, everyone stands nervously, not daring to move. Mr. Feng opens a box to return their confiscated phones, and then the homeroom teacher announces that all 7 of them did very well, especially Hanlu, who ranked first in the entire school. Hanlu holds up a key and invites everyone to the rooftop to receive a gift. At last, the group returns to their secret base. Hanlu asks her friends to turn around so she can say a few words she has long wanted to share. "My dearest friends," she says, "thank you for understanding me. Being friends with you all is the greatest blessing of my life." She then reveals that she has prepared a small gift for each of them and warmly welcomes everyone to join the Scarlet Lotus squad. Suddenly, a shooting star streaks across the night sky, and the group shouts together that they will protect the world. Just then, Hanlu's father calls. Mr. Bai has just found 4 comic books and, when his daughter returns home, apologizes for looking through her belongings without permission. He asks why he has never seen Hanyu's drawings before. Hanlu replies that her father has always been too busy to notice such things. She takes the drawings back to her room and immediately calls Qian Yu, asking him to help keep them safe. Coincidentally, Dwan Chi calls at that moment and asks to meet her downstairs. When she rushes down, she finds both of them standing there, their faces tense with unease. Hanlu takes her 2 friends to the park and asks Dwan Chi what's going on. He tells her that he has the second round pilot exam tomorrow and wanted to see her for good luck. Hanlu wishes him success and hopes he'll soon soar into the blue sky. After Dwan Chi leaves, Hanlu hands the comic books to Qian Yu. The moment she finishes speaking, Qian Yu turns away, upset, accusing her of having feelings for Dwanchi. She only says a few more words before he storms off. Over the weekend, the group decides to go jogging together. Hanlu uses the chance to meet Dwanchi and ask for details about the pilot exam's second round. Fengfen prepares breakfast for everyone, and Hanlu specially buys steak for Qian Yu. Dwanchi explains that the spinning chair test has eliminated many candidates, but a senior taught him a few training tricks. Hanlu asks him to teach the group as well. Dwanchi tells everyone to bend down and spin 15 times, then try to touch a tree trunk in front of them. After 15 spins, everyone feels so dizzy they can barely walk straight. When it's the Air Force candidate's turn, they spin 25 times without falling. Dwanchi truly lives up to his image as a future pilot, while Hanlu collapses to the ground, hitting her head on a rock but refusing to give up. Qian Yu runs after Hanlu, wanting to hear what's truly on her mind. Hanlu says that since she couldn't even handle a simple spinning test, it proves she's not fit to be a pilot. She asks Qian Yu if she really was a member of the Scarlet Lotus Squad who once flew a fighter jet. If the Great War was real, why couldn't she even pass such a small test? As an ally who remembers everything about that battle, Qian Yu assures her that she was an excellent pilot. Deep down, he knows he can't keep hiding the truth for long, but he can't bear to see her so lost and confused. When Hanlu returns home, she finds her father rummaging through her room. Mr. Bai demands to know what exactly the Great War of the Century is. He tells her that he's terrified something bad might happen to his daughter, that he might lose another child. Mr. Bai admits he hasn't been a good father, but insists Hanlu must believe that Hanyu is gone. He says he and his wife saw Hanyu's final moments with their own eyes, and they were the ones who buried her ashes. Begging her to come to her senses, he pleads with Hanlu to believe him just once. But Hanlu refuses, firmly declaring that her sister is not dead. Meanwhile, Yi Shan seeks out Qian Yu. She explains that everyone agrees Hanlu should know the whole truth. Yu blames himself for thinking it was just harmless fun with Hanlu, but in reality, they've been deceiving her. Some truths, he realizes, will inevitably come out over time. What will happen if Hanlu fails the pilot exam? What if Hanyu never returns? Suddenly, Qian Yu understands Hanyu's intentions. When Hanyu drew the ally character, it was meant to awaken Hanlu. Just then, they see Hanlu's mother frantically searching for her daughter. She explains that, in a moment of panic, her husband claimed Hanyu had passed away. In the pouring rain, Hanlu's parents and friends split up to search for her. Qian Yu rushes to the observatory and finds Hanlu curled up under a table. Feeling heartbroken, he hugs her tightly. Hanlu tells him that her parents have always been spies hiding on Earth, secretly trying to ruin her life, and that he is the only one left by her side. Qian Yu realizes they can't hide the truth any longer. He wipes away his tears and forcefully awakens her resolve. He tells her that he is not her ally and that he never believed her words were the truth before. Hanlu, furious, accuses Qian Yu of being a spy too, but Qian Yu comes to shatter her last doubts in this moment. He declares that he is neither ally nor spy, he is simply her friend. Hanlu slaps Qian Yu hard across the face and tells him never to appear in front of her again. Qian Yu then goes to see Tian Ran, begging her to save Hanlu. He pleads that because of things that don't even exist, Hanlu spun herself until she hit her head on a rock. She's been fighting with her parents and even lashing out at her friends. He asks Tian Ran not to let a dream ruin Hanlu's entire life. Tian Ran replies that if Hanyu hadn't created this dream back then, Hanlu's life might have been destroyed even earlier. She says she has no right to change Hanlu's story and therefore will not wake her up. The next morning, Hanlu still refuses to open the door of the observatory. When she sees her father trying to pry it open, she shouts at everyone to leave her alone. She locks herself inside the observatory for days. Her father wants to break down the door but fears she might harm herself if startled. The group brings food and waits for Hanlu to come out. Qian Yu plays a newly composed song and asks her to help him name it. The melody is gentle yet filled with longing, calling Hanlu's steps toward them. However, she manages only a few steps before collapsing to the ground. Hearing the noise, everyone rushes in and breaks down the door to save her. Qian Yu meets Hanlu's parents in the hospital room and leaves the 4 comic books with them. He recalls an uncle suggesting that Hanlu should see a psychologist, and he hopes the comics might help her in some way. Hanlu's mother asks how comic books are connected to their daughter. Mr. Bai tells his wife not to worry, saying she has never cared about the family anyway, and that once Hanlu recovers, he plans to divorce her. Mrs. Bai reflects that they should have divorced when they lost Hanyu. They have no idea that Hanlu has been quietly shedding tears. On her birthday, she still waits for a message from her sister to try to heal their daughter. Mr. Bai spends half a month searching for Tian Ran, believing that the drawings Hanyu left behind must be connected to her close friend who shared the hospital room back then. Mrs. Bai reminds him that Tian Tian Ran had the same illness as Hanyu, and by now, she may have already passed away long ago. Just then, Mr. Bai spots Tian Ran sitting in the park, but she insists she doesn't know Hanyu. When he hears Qian Yu call her sister, he demands to know what really happened. They go together to a cafe, and Tian Ran finally admits everything. She explains that Hanyu asked her to deliver the 4 comic books about the Great Battle to Hanlu, and to send messages every year on her birthday to make sure Hanlu believed her sister was on another planet. She heard that Hanlu's parents were always busy, which made Hanyu prefer to invent a dream rather than entrust Hanlu to them. When Hanlu needed love and protection, her parents weren't there. Everyone else might think Hanyu's actions were absurd, but only Tian Ran knew how much pain Hanyu endured, unable even to hold a pen. Still, Hanyu persisted, drawing bit by bit. Each time she cried until she ran out of tears, but she had to do it. It was the only way to protect her sister. Qian Yu chases after Tian Ran, realizing that, for years, she had been sending love and hope to Hanlu in every message. In the end, the story no longer belongs solely to Hanyu. The person Hanlu trusts most turns out to be Tian Ran. Finally, Hanlu receives a message from her sister. She runs as fast as she can to the meeting point to welcome her back. Qian Yu pushes Tian Ran in a wheelchair right in front of Hanlu. Tian Ran takes Hanlu's hand and begins to speak. She tells Hanlu how much she loved Hanyu. Hanyu once said that her younger sister was fascinated by astronomy, and Hanlu even imagined flying into space to meet aliens. Knowing her sister was shy, Hanyu drew Hanlu as a female pilot flying a fighter jet. She also added allies for Hanlu so that even after Hanyu was gone, her sister would still have hope of finding new friends. Hanyu believed that anyone who truly loved Hanlu would stay by her side. Before leaving this world, Hanyu asked Tian Ran to deliver the comic books and the messaging device to Hanlu. She told Tian Ran not to forget her, then closed her eyes to forget all her pain and illness. At first, Hanlu cannot believe Tian Ran's words and feels she must find a way to send a message back to her sister. Tian Ran explains that every message Hanlu received was written by her. She sets up the transmitter and urges Hanlu to awaken, asking her to step out of the dream that never truly existed. Suddenly, Hanlu catches a glimpse of Hanyu. Hanyu tells her that parting isn't as painful as it seems. Long after, they will oxidize into atoms. They could become part of the same glass of soda or 2 specks of dust leaning against each other. Atoms in the universe are never destroyed, allowing the sisters to meet again. Hanyu says her final goodbye to Hanlu. By the summer of 2008, Lu Yan, Chen Shang, and Qian Chan are all working hard for the upcoming university entrance exams. Qian Yu waits until the 3 friends are free, then treats them to a meal. Lu Yan wants to call Hanlu, but Qian Yu has heard she still refuses to leave her room. After that day, Tian Ran's condition worsens. As the story of the Great Battle continues to give her hope, Hanlu watches her friends from a distance. She has heard every word Qian Yu said. He brings Tian Ran to the hospital, where he finds his parents crying in the backyard. His mother cannot accept the truth, while his father blames himself for being a doctor who couldn't save his daughter. The friends rush to the hospital to visit Tian Ran. At that moment, they see Qian Yu sitting alone, crying. Between sobs, he tells them that his sister may not survive. He asks them to help him secretly take Tian Ran out of the hospital. Qian Yu brings Chen Shang into the room, urging his mother to go see his father. He remembers how his sister once said she was happiest being their child. Qian Yu tightly holds his sister's hand and carefully removes the medical equipment from her body. Outside, the others distract the nurses, who warn that security will be called if the students cause any trouble. Just then, Hanlu, injured in her arm, is helped by a nurse to get it bandaged. The 4 friends surround the nurse, while the rest assist Qian Yu in successfully carrying his sister out to escape. The group gathers outside the hospital gates, and Qian Yu turns to thank Hanlu. Tian Ran wakes up with a desire to watch the Beijing Olympics. She thanks Qian Yu for fulfilling her final wish, not to let her pass away alone in the hospital. Qian Yu takes her to an outdoor beer garden to watch the basketball game between China and Germany. Tian Ran apologizes for deceiving Hanlu all these years. Hanlu thanks Tian Ran for taking Hanyu's place as her sister throughout that time. Finally at peace, Tian Ran gazes at the bubbles in her soda, imagining Hanyu returning to take her away. She slowly leans into her brother's embrace and quietly passes away. Qian Yu's mother looks at her daughter, lying lifeless in the hospital bed, blaming her son for taking away her last chance to speak to Tian Ran. She wishes her daughter could have lived just a few more days, even an hour. Qian Yu silently kneels by the bedside. Hanlu waits outside for Qian Yu. She wants to stay with him and explain to his parents that he didn't act on a whim when he took Tian Ran from the hospital. But Qian Yu thinks it's unnecessary, knowing his family still cannot accept that Tian Ran has passed away. Hanlu returned to her hometown with Qian Yu, wanting to face his grandparents grandparents together. They asked about Tian Ran's health, and the grandparents had even prepared luggage to visit her at the provincial hospital. Hanlu now understood why Hanu said lies would never die, because in this moment, she could not take away their hope. She mentioned that a new drug abroad had been developed, a special treatment that could cure Tian Ran. Qian Yu's parents planned to take her overseas for treatment. The next day, as the new school year began, Teacher Feng asked the students to think about which university they wished to enter. Qian Yu looked at Hanlu as if lost in thought and then invited her to watch the stars that evening. At the observatory, he felt lucky that she could be happy again, but he did not understand why she had been avoiding the astronomy club lately. She had also not registered for the pilot exam. Hanlu confided that she used to fear neither heaven nor earth, but after learning the truth, she realized she was just an ordinary girl. She could not save the world or achieve her dreams, and with her poor vestibular system, she could not become a pilot. Qian Yu listened as Hanlu asked about his chosen major. He said he was interested in studying communications, but feared he could not reach high scores. Since learning that teacher Jing had worked on a communications station for Tian Ran, he had become interested in the field. Hanlu told him she believed he could. On the rooftop, Hanlu still didn't know what to fill in for her university choices. Qian Yu thought it was just a mock registration, not the official one. He filled it in for Hanlu, while she registered the choices on his behalf. They coincidentally ended up choosing the same key school in the city. Knowing Hanlu could not become a pilot, Qian Yu registered her for the aircraft design major. He remembered the first time he saw her watching fireworks, the second time seeing her gaze toward the observatory, and the third time hearing her shout that she wanted to be a pilot. He was certain that Hanlu could never leave the sky. Qian Yu said, "Let's work hard together to follow these aspirations." Under Hanlu's guidance, he became very focused on his studies. He even memorized a long poem, earning continuous applause from the class. When Qian Yu went to check the final rankings, he was too busy searching for his own name at the bottom to realize that he had actually moved up to the P-bropping top of the list. On Hanu's death anniversary, Qian Yu invited Hanlu out to spend the day together. He planned that after eating noodles, they would go to the amusement area to play the claw machine for stuffed animals. Hanlu understood that Qian Yu wanted her to feel less sad on her sister's Memorial Day. He said he didn't want her to be upset all day in front of Hanu's portrait. They went to a photo booth, and Qian Yu accidentally mentioned online that he was bringing his girlfriend there. Hanlu smiled softly. Together, they captured many joyful moments. The shop owner, seeing them as a lovely couple, asked permission to post one of their photos on the advertisement board. Later, they returned to the claw machine. Qian Yu tried many times but failed, and when it was Hanlu's turn, she succeeded on her very first try. Their next stop was the amusement park, where Qian Yu took Hanlu to the carousel. With only one seat left, he chose to stand beside the little princess as her knight. He even played a new song he had written, letting her enjoy it in the cool breeze. Qian Yu asked Hanlu what he was to her if he wasn't an ally. Hanlu replied that he was both a friend and the person who understood her best. She then led Qian Yu to the lighthouse, sharing that she would come here to shout whenever she missed. Her sister, Qian Yu, empathized, as he also missed Tian Ran deeply. They waited for the lighthouse beam to shine, and Hanlu shouted to the sky that she no longer blamed Hanu, for now she had a new dream she would never give up. When it was Qian Yu's turn, he used the wind to carry his own message up into the sky. He said how much he missed Tian Ran and promised to take good care of Hanlu, telling her sister to rest assured as she searched for Hanu. Hanlu returned to her family's front door and overheard her parents talking about divorce. She stepped in and said she had long known they would separate. Hanlu realized that ever since Hanu had passed away, her family had not been happy. After 9 long years, she had finally stepped out of that pain, and she hoped her parents could let go of each other. Meanwhile, Qian Yu's father returned to inform him that his parents would be going abroad for a 2-year training program. They used the excuse of taking care of Tian Ran to ease the grandparents' worries. Qian Yu called Hanlu and shared that his parents were leaving the next day. She asked why he insisted on acting strong and told him that if he couldn't bear to part from them, he should just say so. When Qian Yu learned that Hanlu's parents were divorcing, he advised her not to leave any regrets. Early the next morning, Qian Yu rushed to the airport to see his parents off. For the first time, he expressed his true feelings. He blamed them for leaving for 2 years without telling him until the day before. His father explained that they wanted to prevent him from speaking out in front of the grandparents. Qian Yu reminded them that they were not only Tian Ran's parents, but his parents as well. He said that from birth to now, his parents had only apologized, but had never truly been there for him. His mother apologized, saying she had always thought her son was strong and had wanted to take him along, but Qian Yu had to stay behind to care for the grandparents. As she stepped into the airport, Mrs. Lin realized she had left her son behind too many times. She turned back, embraced Qian Yu, and decided to stay by his side. Meanwhile, Hanlu chased after her parents to the civil affairs office. She recalled how, as a child, she had resented them for always being busy with work. But Han Yu had told her that not all parents need to revolve around their children. They have dreams too. Just as Hanlu wanted to become a pilot, Han Yu loved drawing comics and had confessed that even in another life, she would still want to be their child. Hanlu's mother admitted she felt guilty toward her two daughters. She had always thought that if she had more money at the time, she could have saved Han Yu. So for years, she lived with self-blame for not earning enough. She also blamed Hanlu's father for not being capable enough, which had delayed Han Yu's treatment. Determined to give Hanlu a better life, she threw herself into earning money. Yet in the end, she couldn't even provide a complete home. Hanlu thought that even though her parents were no longer together, they would always be her parents. After Qian Yu rescued his small world, he steadily improved in his university mock exams, rising from rank 127 to 60 in the whole school. Yishan decided to undergo surgery for her sweaty hands to pursue her dream of entering medical school. Yu, despite his mother's objections, bravely defended his relationship with Qian. As the sun grew hotter, the official university entrance exams began. On the hottest day of June, the final exam was finally over, but youth had not ended. The entire class of 12, A6 took commemorative photos to preserve the most beautiful moments of their adolescence. They all thanked teacher Feng together for his hard work over the past 3 years. Before he could respond, the mischievous students lifted him high into the air. At the sacred moment of graduation, Qian Yu intended to confess his feelings to Hanlu, but just then, Lu Yang's team returned, accidentally ruining Yishan's plan. Everyone sent their dreams into a paper airplane and shouted together, celebrating graduation with joy. 2 months later, everyone arrived from different directions and gathered at the secret base. They held a small party, sitting together around a bubbling hot pot. Yishan shared that her family had officially paid off all their debts, and she and her mother would soon work hard to buy back their shop. Chen Shan gave each friend a cup, but he gifted a special matching cup set with a necklace only to Yishan. Lu Yang proudly showed off that he had just obtained his driver's license, planning to impress the senior students. Yu, who was learning to cook, invited everyone to judge his culinary skills. Qian had just started learning dance and wanted to perform for the group. Qian Yu also presented everyone with a video he had filmed himself. He thanked Chen Shang and Lu Yan for always being by his side throughout their youthful years and expressed gratitude to Qian for tolerating the 3 mischievous boys. He told Yu to wait for him to get rich so he could invest in Yu's future restaurant chain and worried about the future Dr. Yishan, always lively but potentially disturbing her patients. For Hanlu alone, Qian Yu wanted to express his feelings directly. He said he had thought of many ways to confess, but realized that no method could fully convey the depth of his emotions. He admitted that he had liked her for a very long time without even realizing it. Perhaps when she held Tian Ran's hand tightly, perhaps when she said there was only him left, perhaps when she cut his hair under the sunset, or when they sat together in the truck. Maybe it was from the very first glance. Had gone through so much together, with moments of joy and craziness. Those seemingly trivial days gradually formed the fabric of their youth, and Hanlu was the final piece of Qian Yu's adolescence. Sharing dreams of the great battle of the century with her had been his most unforgettable experience, for with her, he found purpose and a future. So Hanlu, he said, please agree to be my girlfriend. If it's me, you will always be willing. Amid the enthusiastic cheers of their friends, Qian Yu gently placed a tender kiss on Hanlu's forehead. She led the whole group up to the lighthouse to watch the meteor shower. She had prepared a glowing kite for everyone to write their names on. Under the cascade of shooting stars, the friends recalled their 10-year promise. Lu Yan wanted to become a broadcaster. Chen Xian aimed to be a police officer. Qian would continue pursuing dance. Yu hoped to open a pastry shop. Yishan wished to become a skilled doctor. Hanlu dreamed of designing a fighter jet that would never fail. And Qian Yu aspired to be a good person in society. Yishan wondered if their wishes would come true. And Qian Yu reflected that youth was never perfect, but as long as they dared to try and gave their best, they would have no regrets. Even though they were about to go their separate ways, they promised to meet again. The kite carrying the dreams of the 7 friends soared high into the sky. No matter how many years passed, they would always remember their dreams among the stars, for it was a brilliant youth that none of them would ever forget. The film ends here. Thank you all for watching, goodbye, and see you next time.